You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Neptune stations retrograde, and the Queen of Wands again. Daily Horoscope for Friday, June 30th, 2023. Good morning, friends. Well, here we are on Friday, the day that Neptune is stationing retrograde. Neptune will be retrograde for the next 6 months until he stations direct the first week of December. Neptune is the planet of dreams, spirituality, altered states of consciousness, and also fog, escapism, and denial. Whichever house Pisces governs in your chart will give you an idea of what areas of life this retrograde will affect. Within that house and those topics, we've been not only dealing with Neptune creating a bit of confusion and disillusionment, but we've also had Saturn in Pisces since March, which means we are restructuring and putting in a lot of hard work and effort in that area of life. Now, both those planets are retrograde, so we are going back over what we've been working hard on and what we've been dreaming about. Our dreams could get a lot more pronounced over the next 6 months, and also we could find that we need more sleep, but at the same time, we aren't able to get enough sleep with Saturn being there. Neptune is a more subtle energy in my experience and kind of acts like a fog or a mist that surrounds you or an intuitive connection that sends you messages from the divine. These messages could come in through nature, music, art, imagination, dreams, or feelings. So we have that happening today, and the next big things that are happening over the weekend are Mercury and the Sun conjoining and forming a sextile to Jupiter, while all three will be in quincunxes to the Moon in Sagittarius, making a faded yod formation. And secondly, Venus will square Uranus all weekend. So this is bringing up relationship stuff big time as we want to feel better and communicate our feelings, but there are also some wild and unexpected shifts that may be happening. So it's a pivotal weekend when it comes to relationships, values, and what we find beautiful and sensual in our lives, coupled with wanting to find comfort and safety through communication, our environment, and maybe even traveling. Okay, let's get into the astrology. The moon starts off her day in Scorpio and then ingresses into the hopeful sign of Sagittarius at 10:59 a.m. Eastern Time. The first order of business for the moon was actually right after midnight last night, and this was her square to Mars in Leo, so you could have been feeling this transit late last night into early this morning. The moon square Mars may have brought up some inner tension, restlessness, or problems caused by acting on impulse. This could also manifest as moodiness, ambivalence, and a refulgent temper. I know that my mood last night was on the moodier and impatient side, but enough about me. We start the day on Friday with a square to the lesser malefic Mars, and then we will end on Friday night with the moon making a square to the greater malefic Saturn. This seems like a day of action, manifestation, and work, and not the easy-flowing, carefree kind. This is driven and focused, serious, and spiritual work today. After the moon squares Mars, Mercury perfects a trine to Saturn at 2:23 a.m. Eastern Time. This is actually positive in that it brings more rational thought, reason, and logic to our lives. Mercury and Saturn in a trine can give us an abundance of focus, organization, and serious chats. We could feel really good at communicating on Friday, especially when it comes to business or work-related conversations. This transit could also represent talking to an older, wiser person, or perhaps you are the one who is being sought after for counsel from a younger person. At 6:57 a.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Scorpio forms a trine to Neptune in Pisces, bringing up dreams, heightened intuition, and greater imagination. This is a really nice energy for doing anything artistic and creative that you have to kind of zone out or meditate on in order to accomplish. It reminds me of playing music or dancing where you have to sort of surrender to the flow and let your left brain take over. You have to just feel and respond rather than think and then act. By mid-morning, right before the moon makes her ingress into the sign of Sagittarius, she makes a sextile to Pluto and Capricorn at 10:20 a.m. Eastern Time, indicating that there's an opportunity to express your inner feelings, and they are well received. There could be strong feelings, radical personal changes, or deeply loving feelings that are all possible. Moon ingresses into Sagittarius at 10:59 a.m. Eastern Time. The moon in Sagittarius is peregrine, which means that she has no essential dignity. This is like the moon in a foreign land and doesn't have any support, but what she does have is faith, hope, optimism, and let's not forget, humor. Sagittarius is ruled by the greater benefic Jupiter, and Jupiter is joyful, jolly, and resplendent. He is in Taurus right now, but in a quincunx relationship with the moon, so it's like Jupiter and the moon can't see each other. This means the moon feels disconnected from her host, Jupiter, her source of support. It's like if Jupiter was the genie in the lamp, able to grant any wish the moon desires. This is the moon having misplaced her lamp. She can't get a wish if she doesn't have the lamp and rub it, right? But the moon knows instinctively that the lamp exists, and she has unwavering faith that she will find it again, as long as she keeps searching, moving forward, and looking at the bigger picture. Then in the afternoon at 2:04 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Sagittarius forms a quincunx to the north node. So there is something emotional or physical that we have to let go of in order to move forward. It's as if we have been building a garden, right? And there's a vegetable that we planted that isn't doing too well, and we have to decide what to do about it. Do we dig it up and put something else in its place? Do we try to revive it and bring it back to its full refulgent glory? Or do we let it go to seed? In any scenario, we have to let go of a way in which we thought that plant was going to grow and accept the way in which fate has unfolded, and then act accordingly from here on out. In the evening at 5:06 p.m. Eastern Time, Neptune stations retrograde, and as I said in the opening section of today's forecast, this will be a period over the next 6 months where we are reevaluating, reassessing, and possibly replaying events, situations, and experiences from our past. What worked, what didn't, what are we repeating unconsciously, and what do we consciously want to engage in? Whatever house is ruled by Pisces will help you determine the areas in life that will be affected by this transit. At the end of the horoscope, I will provide a quick list for each rising sign and which house this retrograde will be occurring in, and the topics of that house. At 7:09 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon in Sagittarius forms a sesquiquadrate to Chiron in Aries. This transit simply means that we want to be hopeful and optimistic, but we are having doubts and our egos are getting in the way. At 11:08 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon perfects her square to Saturn in Pisces, bookending the day with serious thoughts. This symbolizes a possible manifestation of a commitment or a responsibility coming into play. If the Sagittarius moon could be super serious about anything, this could also be the Sagittarius moon showing little to no respect for Saturn and his austerity, rules, and dogma. There could be some hard and challenging feelings that come up, or hardship with important women in your life, or feeling the weight of all your responsibilities this evening. I strongly feel that the moon in Sagittarius, coupled with the sun and Mercury in Cancer, are going to influence us all to want to have a good time and do whatever we can to feel better, more comfortable, and more at home, even with the heaviness and weight of Saturn breathing down our necks. This is further supported by the yod that is forming on Friday night and will perfect on Saturday at about 3 a.m. Eastern Time, between the Sun and Mercury's cazimi, Jupiter and the Moon. A yod is a fated moment where all three, but in this case 4, energies are trying to work together to accomplish some sort of goal, but the energy is really stressed. Mercury and the Sun and Jupiter are all trying to work together to bring about a message that will provide comfort and positive growth, whilst being in stressed quincunxes to the Moon in Sagittarius, who needs to keep the bigger picture in mind. So there will be decisions that are made this weekend, and they could surprise us with Venus and Uranus being in square as well. All we can do really is expect the unexpected, a twist of fate to be at play. What a way to usher in July. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? Queen of Wands, Topaz. We pulled this card last Friday, but from the Native American tarot deck. It is always so interesting to me when this happens. Okay, on this card we see cut topaz gemstones refulgently sparkling in the light. In the little booklet it says, quote, "Its golden rays bring more light, joy, and sunny ideas into our life. It inspires us to loftier thoughts, liberates the soul, and intensifies concentration," unquote. The Queen of Wands is about tapping into your own creative spark, inspiration, and enthusiasm, and shining brightly, sharing your gifts of optimism, happiness, and zeal with the world. When you do this, you lift other people up, and it's impossible for them to not want to be around you because of your magnetic positivity. The Queen of Wands can also literally represent a fire sign woman, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, coming into your life that inspires you to be more creative, spontaneous, and in love with life itself. As the card for the day, I feel that this means to be like the Queen of Wands. Be confident, refulgent, and spread hope, joy, and laughter by your very presence. It could also mean that you may encounter someone who is like this today or over the weekend. Neptune retrograde. As promised, here is a quick list of where you can expect the Neptune retrograde to show up in your chart based on your rising sign. Aries, Neptune retrograde will be in your 12th house of mental health, spirituality, hospitals, confinement, and animals larger than a goat. Taurus, Neptune retrograde will be in your 11th house of friends, groups, allies, hopes, and wishes. Gemini, Neptune retrograde will be in your 10th house of career, praxis, the mother, and your public recognition. Cancer, Neptune retrograde will be in your 9th house of higher education, long-distance travel, and belief systems. Leo, Neptune retrograde will be in your 8th house of debts, investments, other people's money, shared finances, and soul bonds. Virgo, Neptune retrograde will be in your 7th house of committed partnerships, marriage, contracts, and legal affairs. Libra, Neptune retrograde will be in your 6th house of stress, sickness, coworkers, and pets or animals smaller than a goat. Scorpio, Neptune retrograde will be in your 5th house of children, pregnancy, romance, recreation, and creativity. Sagittarius, Neptune retrograde will be in your 4th house of home, family, roots, landed property, and traditionally the father. Capricorn, Neptune retrograde will be in your 3rd house of siblings, community, your daily routine, and daily route. Aquarius, Neptune retrograde will be in your 2nd house of money, possessions, and skills that you use to support yourself. Pisces, Neptune retrograde will be in your 1st house of self, health, personality, appearance, and immediate environment. Let me know if this reading resonates with you in the comments. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Tarot of Gemstones and Crystals by Helmut G. Hoffman, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.